Look, this is going to be the shortest review ever because, for one, this song did not play in the end credits. Yeah, that song that was on the original Spider-Man soundtrack in 2002 that was played by Nickel, Theory of a Dead, Saliva Man back.
And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away.
It's not nowhere in this movie. So Spider-Man No Way Home, for me, gets an automatic F. Spider-Man No Way Home is out in theaters on Friday and is the third installment in the new Spider-Man trilogy in the MCU and the 27th MCU movie overall. That's actually just mind-blowingly crazy. That we've gotten this far in the MCU and that we've gotten 4 movies in the MCU this year. I'm going to be pretty vague in this review and not spoil anything because this is a spoiler-free review. I think talking about things that are in the trailers, like the villains, I think that's free game, but any plot points I'm going to save for a spoiler review. So you have my blessing to watch this video if you don't want to be spoiled, and I'll try and be as vague as possible. No Way Home picks up a mere minutes after Far From Home. The public knows the identity of Spider-Man. They know it's Peter Parker, so now he's on the run. He's got to do a thing, which leads to another thing, which leads him to Doctor Strange, which leads to another thing, and that leads to another thing, and that leads to a whole other thing. That's as vague as I'm getting with this movie. I was really skeptical about a live-action Spider-Verse movie and what the trailers had teased for us with a Spider-Verse movie, because it was teased a little bit in Far From Home, and then Far From Home didn't actually go down that route. They said it was all fake, so I said, why are we doing this now instead of in Far From Home? So that I was a little skeptical. Plus, too, we just had Into the Spider-Verse 3 years ago, but luckily my expectations were surpassed because I really enjoyed No Way Home. I do have a couple of issues with the movie. It's not perfect, despite being one of the better theatrically released Spider-Man movies and one of the better live-action Spider-Man movies. I do have a couple of issues with Spider-Man No Way Home, and let's just get those off the bat first. The first 25 to 30 minutes was a little bit messy and a little bit clunky in terms of its pacing and its writing. It felt like there were some scenes missing in there. It felt like scenes had to be extended. It just felt like it was subplot after subplot after subplot after subplot. Nothing that really tied in all that much to the actual main plot of the movie, but it just felt like we were chugging along a little bit and then like all of a sudden we would halt the brakes. So it does feel like it is going through all of those little mini subplots to get to the main plot, and it feels like those subplots are being breezed over because this movie knows that it's an ambitious movie. It's almost like the first 25 minutes were filler and they kind of didn't know what to do with it. Once the story locks into place, though, this is one of the better Spider-Man stories. And it does take a little bit to actually set up the story. For a while, I wasn't really sure where they were going to go with this. There were some rumors floating around on the internet as to what was going to happen. Obviously, like, I kind of listened, but I wasn't 100% sure myself because nothing was confirmed. And I'm not going to confirm anything here, but what actually does happen makes a lot of sense in the movie, and it actually had the most stakes in a live-action Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2. And I gotta give the movie praise for that. And I think, walking out of the theater, I said I think I liked Far From Home a little bit more, and if I had to pick between Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, I would definitely watch Far From Home for the entertainment. No Way Home is the better movie of the three, though. Or Homecoming just kind of left in the dust, there to fade. The bridge scene that's in the trailer did underwhelm me slightly, but not to the extent where I felt that John Watts didn't know how to direct action or that there was no energy to the action. It just felt a little bit smaller scale than I was expecting. However, it is still a really good action scene, and all of the action sequences and the set pieces that occur in this movie after that are really, really good and some of the best moments in a Spider-Man movie. And this movie takes it to places I didn't expect it to go, especially with its emotional weight. I did not expect good chunks of this movie to be as emotional as they were, and they really beat Peter Parker down in some scenes, and Tom Holland really, really nails it in this movie. There's one scene in particular where I was like, holy shit. Like, Tom Holland, like, Academy Award! This is by far Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. It's the most fun he looks like he's having playing Spider-Man, and you could tell that from him, Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned, Zendaya, everyone involved. They knew that this was probably going to be one of the biggest movies ever. I mean, this thing's probably going to break $1 billion. It's going to be the first movie to break $1 billion in the pandemic era. It's going to become the biggest Hollywood movie of 2021. So I guess step aside No Time to Die. You had your moment in the sun as Hollywood's biggest movie of 2021. Now it's Spider-Man's turn. You know what? I'm not even pissed. I can live with that. Bond got his moment, now it's Spider-Man's turn. There were moments towards the end where I was just like, I really don't want them to go down that route. Please do not go down that route. Do not do it. Don't. Oh, okay, you're doing it. But the payoff actually worked for me. There were some subtleties that left some doors open for the future, and I was like, okay, I can live with that if you're gonna do that, because there were moments at the end where it was breaking my heart. It was breaking my heart harder than Anakin Skywalker broke Padme's heart in Revenge of the Sith. I guess the best way to describe this movie, and a lot of blockbusters that have actually come out this year, Bond, Shang-Chi, Suicide Squad, satisfying. This is the year of the blockbusters. The blockbusters, after a 1.5 year absence, have returned. And I have never been happier with blockbusters this year. You could throw Eternals into that mix as well, where it's satisfying and they actually take some enormous risks, and blockbusters are starting to become more ambitious now. So thank you to these blockbusters for being released in 2021 and being ambitious and taking risks that aren't gonna please everybody, but hopefully please the masses. And that's what Spider-Man No Way Home does. I don't know, I really find it hard for somebody who is looking forward to Spider-Man No Way Home being disappointed by this movie. I think everybody is going to be satisfied in a way. Take that as you will. But let's talk about the villains for a minute that come back from the previous live-action Spider-Man movies, from the Tobey Maguire movies and the Andrew Garfield movies. It was really fun seeing all of them back on screen, and some of them I didn't even like. I didn't like Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't even like Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and this movie made me actually care about Electro. I was like, okay, yeah, I like this version of Electro. Where was this in the Amazing Spider-Man 2? Oh yeah, that's right, I blocked that movie out of my memory because I hated it so much. They bring back the Lizard, and the Lizard has that, Lizard still has that really bad CGI that they had in 2012 for the Lizard. His mouth doesn't even match up with what he's saying sometimes, so it kind of got a hearty chuckle from me. So unintentional comedy bits there, I guess. But it was awesome seeing Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock and what Doc Ock would do, and it was a glorious sight to see Willem Dafoe back as Green Goblin, and Willem Dafoe just hamming it up again. It was a delight to see on screen once again. And I mean, I just want to know what went through these actors' minds when they were contacted to star in this movie, especially Willem Dafoe, because I'm pretty sure every one of these actors that plays these villains in this movie thought they were done after their respective movies, and then they get the call and they're probably like, really? You want me back? Like, but oh. Okay, I see what you're doing there. I bet this was Willem Dafoe answering his phone. Hey, Willem. Yes, this is Kevin Feige from Marvel Studios. We want you to come back from the next Spider-Man. You're pathetically predictable. Okay, we'll send your contract right over. That had to be the response, I'm just saying. Now let's talk about something that gets talked about a lot. There's been a lot of debate with the use of fan service in big budget blockbusters. A lot of people didn't like it in The Rise of Skywalker. Critics did not like it in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Didn't really seem to bother people with No Time to Die, but I've seen kind of a mixed bag here with Spider-Man No Way Home, now that I've had a chance to look at the reviews and now that I've seen the movie. Fan service is good if it doesn't get in the way of the story, and there is fan service in No Way Home. On the nose fan service at that. Never once did it take me out of the movie, though. I mean, I was at a press screening, so I couldn't really yell, but in my mind, I was just going, yes! That's what I like to see. That's my take on the fan service in this movie. It worked for the most part for me. The humor is still there, laughed a lot in this movie. I really enjoyed No Way Home. I hope you guys really enjoy it too. As I said, I think you will be satisfied in a way. I really enjoyed No Way Home with a full bucket of popcorn. Actually, I should change that to bag of popcorn because now AMC is cheaping out and giving us bags of popcorn. They used to give us buckets. I miss the buckets. If somebody complained that was like too much popcorn or something, I don't know. But are you guys seeing No Way Home this weekend? Drop me some feedback in the comment section below once you do see it as to what your thoughts of the movie are. I will leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.